We are back out here today with Jay, Irish Outlaw Garage. Buff is out there in the ether somewhere. Well, we're going to work on something a little bit different here. This is my 1972 Pontiac Lemans. I've had this car since I was 15 years old. A couple of years ago, I built a 455 for it, and then it immediately ate the Turbo 400 that resides inside of it. So, we got to put a trans in it. Now, you've probably just seen us put a trans in the Holey Goat, the original numbers matching trans, back in it. Well, we're going to take the Holey Goat's trans and put it in here. That way, two birds, one stone, right? I'll be sharing some history with this car along the way, now that the statute of limitations has expired. So we got her up in the air here, and this car is better looking than it is. There's the 455 I put together. It's 30 over with a little melling cam in it, nothing special. In my homemade Dodge Caravan electric fan setup. Now, this car is actually much worse than the GTO underneath. Like, it has new floor pans, but they're just sitting in it. The frame has holes in it. None of this has bothered me. Let this go to show you. He goes, oh, you can't drive that, it has rust. Well, I've driven this car all over the country. What we have in here is a long-tail Turbo 400 that's trashed and needs to go away. Oh, look how dented it is. So I jumped this several years ago. I think I'm starting to reap some of the benefits of that. That's
yeah, because you're missing the lower mount.
Body mount's gone?
Yeah.
No, we don't need those. See the magnets stuck to the oil pan? That's key. There's also these magnets also stuck to the oil pan. That's because the cam went flat in it when I broke the motor in. And I flushed it, and then I took it back out, put a cam in it, put it back in, spun a bearing, and then I pulled it back out, and then I cleaned up the crank, and so far so good. But I'm not going to get too deep into pulling this thing. It's about the same as most of them, but we do have some things to remedy. Mostly that this is a long tail, so the mount has moved back here. Cross members moved. We need to move up here to where this giant rust hole is, which is inconvenient because there's a giant rust hole there. I'm glad you guys are here to do all the work for me.
It does, actually. Fluid looks good.
Really? Bright red.
This is reusable.
No. Yeah, that's probably from a jump. You can see the cross member is actually, see how flat that is across? That's ground flat. There's a very good possibility there's metric fittings in there.
I'm pretty sure that's like a 10 or 11 right there.
16-year-old me assembled this.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, you just found this bell housing bolt just loose. So, you know.
Yeah, Jay, you didn't loosen anything, right?
Nope, it was just sitting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is just the kind of fine craftsmanship you can expect on one of my vehicles.
I mean, you were 16.
No, I wasn't, because I put the motor in like 2 years ago.
Oh!
And we find more metric hardware here on the trans mount. So I blew up the first transmission in this car when I was 15. So then this transmission is out of a 70 Catalina that Dad bought to pull the motor for his goat. And that lasted for about a year. Then I had it rebuilt. This is while I've gone through 2 engines in front of it and a rear end, and it's been good since. Yeah, don't get caught on the self-tappers. Are you up to date on your tetanus?
I am. Nope, that's too big.
7/16
Yeah.
probably. This drive shaft is out of a 78 Camaro, and it's homemade. It's been shortened by a buddy of mine, actually welded it up. Homemade drive shaft, did exactly what you're not supposed to do. I'm going to make a couple of plates to plate that frame with where the cross member goes. I was going to cut them out of this piece of 1/8" angle stock here. I might even weld them in with that Rylon welder, which I highly recommend. I love that thing.
He's got glasses
Safety
on.
for-
It's safety. And it's working fine. That's some tough steel.
It's good stuff, apparently.
Wrench, right?
All right, we're ready to yank.
No,
Oh.
these bolts are
We
still
did.
in.
I guess we did.
God dang it, Bob.
Hey, I was back there.
Yeah.
Well,
Hand me the crap.
I just thought we were ready.
that's the bolt that came out of it?
Yeah. Yeah, you,
Oh, I just cut it off.
I think you just cut it off. You
Yeah.
didn't even.
Well, they were hanging down, so.
Right.
It is cut like a 16-year-old that was drinking. So.
I'm going to lower it, see what happens.
Oh, do we have it ratched?
No,
No. Okay.
we don't care about this one.
Let it fall on her head. Just a hand. We do have all the bolts out, right?
I don't know. No.
Nope.
Damn it.
Oh, you calm down.
Things are happening now. Use caution. Just bail if it starts to fall.
There you go. There you go. Whoa. Ah, she's wimp.
Take her down.
Mm-hmm.
Zaw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now what? We have exhaust in the way on this one.
Yeah.
I don't
Interesting.
know. I don't know what.
But
to
I do
there.
know that we're going to ratchet strap this damn thing on.
I was just going to push it off.
You think?
Just let it fall.
Okay. It's up to you. We're going to make a mess. 'Cause
no.
we got a full torque converter.
I could drop an exhaust pipe, but that doesn't necessarily help us either.
No, because then you know break off an exhaust stud.
I better not. Either. They haven't been in there that long.
What in the? You're there. Oh, that'll be fun.
Now
Nothing wants to fall. I mean,
no, now it wants to fall.
yeah, let me get this bolt before it goes crazy. All right. There he is. There we go. Slam!
Controlled demolition.
Yeah. Watch your head. Got it. Fingers. Out.
We could probably wiggle it on to the jack under here. Yeah, just pick it up and scooch. There you go.
Perfect.
I don't want to shock anybody, but I actually have the welder out. Gonna patch the frame in this thing, just where that cross member goes. It's not gonna be good, but it's gonna be better, so get over it. I've straightened the frame on my frame machine here, and I deem it good enough, so I'm gonna clean it up and let's burn it on. Got her set at 18 volts and 300%. What does that mean?
Fire.
Okay, here we go. I've actually got it running on the 220 now, so maybe we get some penetration. There's a lot of flammable transmission fluid around here.
It'll be fine.
Wow, these really don't work. Wow, okay, hang on, let me get a helmet. Yeah, that works a lot better. Look at that. Is it penetrating? I have no idea. I'm just going to adjust the dimensions here a little. And simultaneously test the strength of the welds. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. I think I can even remove these. It might be the beer talking, but I don't think it looks that bad. That's going to give me something I can at least bolt that cross member to, which we didn't have before. So anyway, I'm just going to burn in the other side, and then maybe we'll be ready to just stab a transmission back in. Test fitting the new torque converter. Make sure that it fits. It is dual drilled, but you know, well, look how thin that outside.
It'll be fine.
It's using the inside one, so we're good. What we got here is a 10-inch B&M, what the hell is it called? What does that box say? It's a Torque Master B&M 10-inch converter. It's like a 24 or 2500 RPM stall, nothing crazy. But it should decrease the centrifugal mass in here, and we'll get a little bit better of a hole shot. Holy crap, the floors are put in this really bad. Anyway, I'm going to cut off some of these self-tappers so we don't die. And then I guess I'm going to fill this, put it in the trans, and then we're going to try to finagle it under here somehow. I'm not quite sure how yet. Self-tappers hanging out here. I would like them to not be hanging out. You know what I mean? Alright, we've been waiting for hours, and now I'm drinking it. Because the damn thing just won't swallow enough fluid. Now I'm going to create an environmental catastrophe. Got it. For one, maybe all the way in. No, not quite.
You seem to be pumping.
The pump works. I'm gonna have to hand this over to the expert. Gee. Where? I don't know. Better go find one. You think it's in there?
I think it just hit perfectly. Like everything was lined up.
Should we pull it out and do it again? Just to make sure.
Oh, and you hadn't dripped any.
Oh, God, Jay.
Now it's empty.
How does that work?
Dumped it all in the damn trans, probably. Oh, yeah, there's the. Nope. There's one.
There.
It did. There
you go.
Three.
It
you
was
were
in
there.
It was in.
It was just perfectly lined up.
Well, I was too good.
Yeah, that's what you get.
It's bad when you doubt yourself. And you did it right.
Frequently.
Okay. I'm going to pull that up. I got my arm under it. It won't hurt me any worse than I already am. I'm going to come in from the front and lift the front of that goddamn.
Good f***ing luck, man.
I've been in worse situations.
Okay. Well, after a fair amount of struggling, we actually got the trans put on the jack under the car. And now Jay is removing the thingamabobber we used to hold the torque converter in.
It's out.
Well, I think we're ready to install.
Right there.
Right there?
That's about right.
Now you want to go up?
Some wires where they don't belong, and I'll forget, and then they'll burn up.
Just pinch them.
Pinch them off.
Yeah. It's a little bit low.
Whoa.
What are you doing to me?
Ah, way too
Easy. Boom.
Nailed it.
She's in there.
What?
Give me one of them. I'll get them. I
one,
need.
let it
Where's my
breathe.
thingamabob with the who's and what's on it?
This thing?
What the hell does that mean?
What do you want?
My damn. Hold on.
Oh, he wants the
Oh, the thingamajig. Come on, man.
I can't find the hole. My dad would say, "I'll bet." You gotta be all cool and stuff now. You can't say stuff like that.
I'm just going to bleep out like 5 seconds straight of that.
Seriously, I'm having a hell of a time here.
It's just that one.
Dude, I've got the Speedo cable locked in.
It still needs to be pushed forward.
At least there's that.
I'm glad you brought 17 feet of extensions.
That really is the key.
Yeah.
You'd think I've done this before.
You guys making pretty good progress over there?
We're getting there. I mean, a few more minutes.
Good.
Wow.
Well, it's in. Bell housing bolts are in. Still got to snug up that side, right? All three. Next big thing we got is the cross member. So we should probably bolt it to the trans, I imagine.
Because I've got holes already.
Yeah, so do I.
Those are the two
I'll get
holes
some.
that I said would probably line up too. Dang it.
Oh yeah, because you.
Oh well, you fixed the frame. You didn't
The
even know.
frame is fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one hole, but the second hole's not gonna line up.
Rednecks with power tools.
So I don't know what I'm drilling into here, but I guess we'll find out. Oh. Nothing.
Nothing.
So yeah, we're gonna make custom holes in the frame here.
Oh god damn, it's hot.
Hello, Bernie. Better to burn with the hands than to burn when you pee. Amish, book 32.
What?
Oh my God! Look at that. Swapped, engaged.
I think this thing is probably a lot better off now. We haven't done a lot here, but we fixed a few key things. Also, this is a metric bolt.
How did you do that?
I don't know. It threaded in, no problem. What? I did tell the story of why I do put inspection covers on things. I mean, other than the car we just did that we didn't put one on.
Yeah.
But, so when I was 16 in this car, I backed up over a tarp, and I didn't have a cover on it, and it sucked the tarp up into it, seized the engine on my way to Dairy Queen to go to work. So that's why I went and bought this exact tool, this flywheel turner, and then slowly inched the engine around backwards to pull the tarp out of it. I got this drive shaft, Southwest Speed. They are my favorite drive shaft company to use. No sponsorship BS there. I just like them. I'm gonna put that big long yoke on it, which I question a little, but we'll try it. And what I found was this. I ordered this to the dimensions of a 72 GTO with a Turbo 400 and an 8.2 inch 10 volt, which this is, so it should fit, you would think. I mean, just kind of eyeball to see which yoke I need to use here. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess not that one, because that is bottomed out in the trans. So the yoke I got no fit. Probably gonna have to use this yoke. I think that's gonna do it for tonight. It's late and we did a lot. Really appreciate Jay and Buff for helping me. As usual. We're back out here again today, and I want to rob this yoke out because I think it's going to work. But I realized that I've been running around on a 50-year-old U-joint this whole time because, look at that, see that? It's plastic in here. And the way GM put their U-joints in, and a lot of other manufacturers too, is when they would install the U-joint and then inject plastic in there that would harden and that would hold the cap in place. Works pretty damn good. As we tried to put it in the press earlier, it didn't move. A map gas torch gets hot enough to get this stuff out and heat it up, and once you get it hot enough, it'll just poop right on out of there. It is pooping from both ends. Look at it. It has pooped. It is continuing to poop. It's continuing to poop. There's a lot of poop in there.
That's crazy.
Oh, the poop has pinched off. The poop has pinched off. Repeat, the poop has pinched off.
You can try and pound it out?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to, if I can do it without catching on fire. That'd be cool, you know.
Is it hot?
Yeah, it's very hot. For some reason. It's still pretty stuck. Pop it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to work it back and forth, maybe. I don't know how well this is gonna work.
Oh, that is so scary.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I don't want that socket to come out of there. It's gonna hurt really bad. I mean, something's happening.
Yeah. It's obviously going down.
That might be about out of jack.
Woo.
Still got all your hands?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I destroyed it.
Huh.
It was pretty stuck in there.
Well,
Oh, and it's still stuck on there, actually.
what the heck?
The other one came out. Since we destroyed the other drive shaft yoke, we made our own. You can see that I chopped off the long one on the chop saw, filed out the teeth, and then beveled the edge with the bench grinder, and it actually seems to work pretty good. We'll bolt it in. Hope it ain't too long.
Not working?
I guess it's too long. Well, long story short, the drive shaft I ordered is way too long. That happens a lot on this channel. We found this one laying out back. I don't know what it's out of, but it's just a couple inches shorter than the one I bought, so maybe we'll try it. However, I got my finger pinched in a pair of vice grips there, and I think I might have broke it. I was using them, and my finger got caught in here, and they were locked onto it. That felt great. So I'm medicating, and I'm going to make JD try to pop these clips out. It would have fit if we hadn't cut down that yoke. So I ordered another yoke. We'll see you in a couple of days. I've received parts. So I got this really nice, almost Moroso transmission pan to put on it with new gasket. And a new yoke to replace the yoke that we destroyed because we're idiots. I just went ahead and glued the gasket onto our new zinc-nesium China pan. Got the drive shaft put in. Let's go ahead and drop this old pan off that's leaking. Well, back my grandma and grandpa got me this mortar mixing tub here, and it makes a great like high capacity drain pan. I think somebody said something in the comments and they seen it, and well, you know, say hi to them, you know, my grandma and grandpa for me. What we're gonna do is pull out every bolt except for like one in the front, and then just try to lean it into this pan. Ah! Wow. I nailed the placement on that one. I don't think I spilled it. Ah, cork gasket. That explains the leak. This transmission's only got a few thousand miles on it, and it is completely full of grit and clutch material. Wow. Well, that bodes well for the longevity of this thing behind a much more powerful engine. I'm gonna let that continue dripping, but I'm just gonna clean off that pan rail real quick. Best to try to get everything as clean as you can when you're mating stuff together. Look at that, huh? It's almost Moroso. See, this has fins in it, so it goes faster. But most importantly, it has a drain plug in it, so it'll leak. Now we'll break all these rules. Yeah, take a look at this. It's not good. I understand there's a break-in period for a transmission, and it will generate a little clutch, but that seems like a lot. I don't know. I was going to fire her up, but I would like to change this carburetor out. Nothing wrong with this double pumper on here, but it's only a 650, and the base plate's leaking on it. You get the throttle in the right spot, it has a pretty bad vacuum leak. I've got a 750 Edelbrock I found at a swap meet for $100. So we'll try that and see if it runs. And if it doesn't, we can always fix this Holey. But really, I need a 750 anyway, and yeah, I could get one, but I don't know. Sometimes it's better just to do things, you know, the regular guy way, right? There's my homemade ghetto shaker scoop. It's terrible in every way imaginable, and I hate it. I know that people like the looks of it, but I hate this thing. It's very high quality in here. Very high quality. It's got this piece of metal that I drilled holes in to support it. and it's just a normal air cleaner base with some fuel hose stuck around the edges to make it sort of fit. This is me in full effect here, pre-YouTube me. Just so, you know, I get a lot of people like, oh my god, he's just butchering that for video. No, this is just how I am. Quality. Boy, that gas smells like it's right on the verge of being varnished. Oh yeah, this random bolt I have threaded into the intake here, that's to hold the shaker up when the car is running. But here's the thing. You would have never known any of that. You'd never known anything was wrong with this car, right? If you saw it driving down the road, you'd be like, oh, that's a nice car. If you saw it at a cruise night, hell, you'd probably still be like, oh yeah, that's a nice car. But it's not. And who cares? It's just a car. It's not worth investing your entire life into making sure it's perfect. It's just a car. Just drive it. That's what I've been doing for about 15 years in this thing. And I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know if you can see it, but this whole primary throttle shaft moves a lot, and that's what the problem is with this guy. Easy fix though, just change out the base plate. So I went to a swap meet the other day and got this and a water temperature gauge for $100. And it came in the box. It's still got all the fittings and manuals, and it looks like brand new. The guy said it had been sitting for 3 or 4 months, and that I should probably rebuild it. So I'm of course going to ignore that advice and just throw it on the car. That's probably a mistake, but I'm going to reuse that base plate gasket because it looks fine. Probably. Feels like everything opens all right. But did I mention this is a 1407? So she is the 750 variety. That ought to feed this 455 or 462, I suppose, technically. Well, the brand new used swap meet carburetor is installed. We'll fire it up and see if everything works and fill up the transmission. You know what they say about making multiple changes at once? It's a great idea and you should do it. Sounds pretty good. I'm going to top off the transmission fluid, and then we'll see if it goes into gear while it's in the air and do some checking for leaks and see what happens. Alright. Can't argue with that. The carburetor sounds pretty good. I really like to go drive it, you know, because I haven't in a long time, and I'm excited. I may go run her down the road, but it's dark, so you won't be able to see, but I might go run her down the road. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow. I don't know. But you'll see it soon. I am excited, if you can't tell. Well, it's a beautiful morning, and let's go test drive this baby and see how she does. I think first stop is gas station, because I don't know how much is in it. And then maybe we'll go play around a little bit. One thing this car does have is some suspension problems, which hopefully we're going to be taken care of here soon. It pulls pretty hard to the right. I mean, it just needs everything gone through and refreshed and stuff, you know. So that's going to happen in the future. If you guys want to see it, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just work on it off camera, but I think you probably want to see it, right? Woo-hoo. Marty Fife ain't gonna get us now. Still got some kind of vacuum leak. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's not the same one that I had before. I think it's the heater controls. Maybe I'm leaking there. It's not anything crazy, but you can just hear like a little bit of, you know. Could actually actually be that ancient vacuum gauge. Something's not quite right with it, but I'm still pretty happy. Leak check. Nope, it's not vomiting anything, so it must be alright. Love this car. Alright, now the all important. Will it lay rubber across the four-way? Yes, it will. I'm gonna get arrested. Jesus. Yeah, it's really good to be back in this thing. I missed it. 455 runs better than it ever has. Some kinks to work out. I think I need to go a little bit fatter on the carburetor. I gotta find that vacuum leak. That's throwing all kinds of stuff out of whack. It's under the dash, whatever it is. I don't know. Overall, I'm pretty pleased to be back behind the wheel of my Le Mans. She's always been good to me. I needed to return the favor. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Pole Barn Garage. Hey, I'm just going to go enjoy driving this baby around a little bit. Relive some of the good old days. Or bad days. Anyway, if you want to see more, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know. I know I want to get this thing back in fight shape, so let me know down below. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks as always for watching. Have a good one.